vciso-au Cyber Watch, September 12, 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati, ANZ Ransomware. Victims? None. ACSC warns of sonic wall. Access control. Vulnerability actively exploited in attacks. The Australian Cybersecurity Centre, ACSC, issued a critical warning about CVE 2024-40766, a severe sonic wall firewall flaw with a CVSS score of 9.3. The vulnerability impacts multiple sonic wall generations, including Gen 5, Gen 6, and older Gen 7 versions. It allows unauthenticated attackers to gain access to sensitive systems and, under certain conditions, trigger denial-of-service crashes. Exploitation activity has been rising in Australia, with ransomware groups like Akira actively weaponizing the flaw. The issue stems from improper access control in SonicWall's Sonic OS management and SSL VPN interfaces. Due to wide device deployment across industries, the threat has significant reach. ACSC highlighted that exploitation is no longer theoretical, but actively observed. The advisory stresses urgency in patching or mitigating affected systems. Organizations using sonic wall firewalls should immediately review vendor guidance. Failure to act leaves critical infrastructure exposed to ongoing targeted campaigns. Killsec ransomware attacking healthcare institutions. Killsec ransomware has launched attacks on Brazil's healthcare sector, exfiltrating over 34 GBs of sensitive medical records. Data includes lab results, X-rays, miners' records, and unredacted patient photos. The breach originated from an insecure AWS S3 bucket, left exposed for several months. Patients remain unaware, raising serious privacy concerns. Killsec has a history of leaking Brazilian government and personal data, sometimes mixing real breaches with fabricated claims. This incident is confirmed to be severe, with ransomware operators threatening leaks unless negotiations begin. Resecurity linked Killsec to earlier breaches in Colombia, Peru, and the US, showing growing focus on healthcare. Victims include Archer Health, USA, Switzerlab, Peru, and Go Telemedicina, Colombia. Previous victims also include DrClick, serving thousands of doctors globally. The attacks highlight how healthcare remains a prime extortion target. By targeting life-critical services, Killsec maximizes leverage over organizations and patients alike. Jaguar Land Rover, cyber attack and data breach. Jaguar Land Rover, JLR, disclosed a cyber attack that disrupted production, retail operations, and dealer systems in the UK. Initially, JLR claimed no customer data was compromised, though later admitted a data breach occurred. The disruption affected systems like car registration, parts supply, and Solihull plant operations. Attackers behind the breach are linked to the Scattered Lapsus Hunters, a group tied to past UK retail hacks. JLR stated that it proactively shut down systems to contain the attack. The company is investigating and informing regulators, though has not disclosed details of stolen data. JLR operates globally, selling luxury vehicles across 120-plus countries, amplifying the potential exposure. The breach adds to growing concerns about cyber risks in the automotive sector. Attackers increasingly target supply chains, manufacturing, and dealerships. Customers and partners are advised to remain alert until JLR's investigation concludes. Adobe Commerce Flaw, CVE 2025-54236. Adobe disclosed CVE 2025-54236, Session Reaper, a critical flaw in Adobe Commerce and Magento open source platforms. The vulnerability carries a CVSS score of 9.1 and stems from improper input validation. Attackers could exploit it to hijack customer accounts via the Commerce REST API. If abused, this could enable unauthorized purchases, data theft, or fraud. Adobe has issued patches and strongly recommends upgrading. The company is not aware of active exploitation yet, but warns the risk is high. The flaw impacts several supported product versions, requiring urgent attention from administrators. Commerce platforms are common targets for cybercriminals due to financial data access. Failure to patch leaves merchants vulnerable to account takeovers and potential reputational harm. Adobe advises prompt remediation and adherence to secure configuration practices. Elna Train passenger data breach. UK train operator Elna reported a cyber incident exposing personal passenger data. Files accessed from a contractor contained names, emails, phone numbers, and travel histories. Financial details, passwords, and login credentials were unaffected. The company has hired a cybersecurity firm to investigate and strengthen defenses. Elna stressed that ticketing and train services remain unaffected. Passengers are urged to remain cautious against phishing attempts using stolen data. Elna also recommends best practices such as strong unique passwords and enabling MFA. A helpline and dedicated email support have been launched for concerned customers. The incident highlights supply chain risks as the breach occurred via a vendor-managed system. Elna pledges transparency and regular updates as the investigation progresses. Palo Alto Networks User ID Agent Vulnerability. CVE 2025-4235 affects Palo Alto Networks' User ID Credential Agent on Windows. Under certain custom configurations, the flaw exposes service account passwords in clear text. While rated CVSS 4.2 medium, risk rises when accounts hold elevated roles like server operator. Exploitation could let attackers escalate privileges, disable services, or compromise firewall policies. An unprivileged domain user could retrieve passwords directly from agent files or memory. Versions prior to 11.0.3 are vulnerable, requiring upgrades or mitigations. Palo Alto advises customers to review service account privileges urgently. Attackers gaining these credentials could create rogue objects or conduct reconnaissance. Though not a remote exploit, insider or low-privilege users could weaponize it. Organizations should prioritize patching and minimize privilege allocations for impacted accounts. Clorox, the 400 Meta help desk hack. Clorox confirmed that a 2023 breach cost the company nearly $380 million in damages. The attack was carried out by Scattered Spider using social engineering, not 0 days. Attackers called Cognizant's help desk, impersonating employees, and repeatedly requested password and MFA resets. Service desk staff failed to follow escalation and verification protocols. This lapse enabled attackers to escalate to domain admin privileges. The breach disrupted production, manufacturing, and distribution operations. Clorox had to shut down systems, process orders manually, and delay shipments. Business interruption made up the bulk of financial losses. The case highlights how weak identity verification undermines enterprise security. Proper agent training and stronger reset authentication processes could have prevented the breach.